My name is Roby Tumambo of BSAMT 1-4, and it is very important to remember that the use of symbols and images is one of the simplest ways in order to display or convey the message when glanced at a distance. What is that message? It is the message of safety. Colors and symbols are used to provide information and warnings essential to safety at work.
There are many colors of signs that are used in the aviation industry in order to convey the message of safety to the people. These colors used are red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. These colors are called safety colors, and each one of every one of them has its own particular meaning. Red is used when there is a risk of fire and danger, and stop if needed. Orange is used for warning people, and yellow is used to give caution to people, like hazard signs. Green is used to promote safety to people, and blue is used to provide notice to people. This type of signs and colors can help people identify what types of warnings or hazards are around them, which can help them be safe at all times.
There are a total of 6 types of safety signs and symbols present in the aviation industry. These types of safety signs and symbols are prohibition signs, mandatory signs, warning signs, information about safe condition signs, fire safety signs, and safety labels.
Prohibition signs. Prohibition signs are signs that prohibit behavior that is likely to start or cause a risk to the health of the passengers. They are commonly red in color and commonly use a black safety symbol in a red circle with a diagonal cross. Here are the examples of prohibition signs. Examples of this are no pedestrians, please turn off your phones, do not enter, do not run, no smoking, and many more.
Now, mandatory signs are blue in color and generally give positive instruction. They would often tell you what to rather do than what not to do. Here are the examples of mandatory signs.
The next stop is warning signs. Warning signs are the type of signs that are yellow and are normally in a triangular shape. These are a type of hazard signs which indicates a potential hazard that may happen around us, an obstacle in the way, and a condition in which that requires special attention. This type of hazard signs help people identify the hazards around them in their surroundings, in order for them to be aware and to be more safe at all times. Examples of hazard signs are the following.
Information about the safe condition signs are usually colored green, and they aid by telling people where the safe places are located in order for them to go to there. Here are the examples of safe condition signs.
Fire safety signs. Fire safety signs are usually in red in color and can be classified as fire exit signs and firefight equipment signs. They provide specific safety signs whenever there is a risk that has not been avoided, such as engineering controls and the safe systems of works.
Safety labels. Now, safety labels are commonly hazard communication labels that provide the alert of flammability, health effects, reactivity, and special hazards. They are provided in a variety of formats such as the format of the National Fire Protection Association and the Hazardous Materials Identification System. Here are the examples of safety labels.
In the field of AMP, or aircraft maintenance technology, there is no doubt that in the workplace, various hazards can be avoided. But with proper use of PPE or personal protective equipment, we can reduce that risk and minimize our exposure to these certain hazards. So, how do we properly wear PPEs to their full potential, and how are they relevant to our working environment? First off, we have the hard hat. This equipment is made to withstand falling debris in the workplace and even unnecessary physical contact. By adjusting the strap to your head size and readjusting the chin strap to properly fit your face, the hard hat would be able to withstand light debris without it coming off of your head. Following, we have glasses, goggles, face shields. These are very simple equipment to use, so just always be aware to wear them in front of your face and you'll be safe from any possible flying debris that might head in your direction. Next, we have respirators and face masks. These are necessary equipment that is needed when being exposed to highly toxic gases. So for proper wearing of respirators and face masks, we must ensure that our equipment is well fitted onto our face with no signs of spaces and any crevices that the highly hazardous gases might get into and affect the person's breathing. Earplugs and earmuffs both serve the same purpose of reducing loud noise within the workplace. But the only thing is that earplugs are worn to be properly inserted inside the ear canal, while the earmuffs are worn to be placed on or around the ear.
Wearing proper protective footwear, such as safety shoes, is required in performing tasks such as construction, repairing aircrafts, and etc. This also prevents from severe injury caused by a heavy falling object, or in some cases, extreme hot or cold environments. Protection is one key factor that shouldn't be ignored because we mostly use our hands for certain ground operations. Potential hazards are present such as skin absorption of harmful substances, thermal burns, electrical shock, bruises, cuts, and etc. Wearing the right type of protective gloves prevents these risks and reduces the chance of causing the said injuries. Like I've said before, we protect our body because one or more hazards are present in an area. Wearing PPEs such as overalls, high visibility vests, padded suits, and etc. will put us in a safe space and reduce the chance of accidents occurring. In the airfield, ground crews wear reflectorized vests to warn other airmen to indicate that they are performing an operation on a specific area or just passing by.
Safety responsibility, the obligation to carry forward an assigned safety-related task to its successful conclusion. With responsibility goes authority to direct and take the necessary action to ensure success. Safety, accountability, the obligation to demonstrate the task achievement and take responsibility for the safety performance in accordance with agreed expectations. Accountability is the obligation to answer for an action. For the description of both of them, safety accountabilities and responsibilities should be allocated to the management and personnel involved in safety-related tasks. This includes allocation of accountabilities and responsibilities for the safety of operations, but also for the implementation and operation of the Safety Management System or SMS. So, Safety Management System is composed of 4 components: safety policy, safety risk management, safety assurance, and safety promotion. I'm gonna show you the actual and function of each component.
In aviation, SMS matters. And we're not talking about texts, we're talking about the safety management system, which is key in detecting safety hazards and risks in the aviation industry. SMS provides resources to detect problems before they become problems. If you look at the SMS framework, you'll find special activities and processes that all aviation service providers are obliged to take into account. This framework comprises of 4 pillars: policy, risk management, safety assurance, and safety promotion. Now, each pillar has unique components of its own. All pillars are connected, and each is critical in keeping the safety management system in working order. It is the responsibility of every aviation organisation to uphold what is right. Diving into the first safety management system pillar, policy. This pillar features 5 subcomponents. Commitment and responsibility of the management refers to reducing and possibly eliminating anything that threatens aviation safety. Ultimate responsibility for safety involves service providers appointing a responsible manager committed to implementing and maintaining SMS. Identification of key safety staff. This means that service providers must appoint a head of safety to establish, develop, administer and maintain effective SMS. Coordination of procedure planning in the case of danger. This essential component is about planning for emergencies. And finally, SMS documentation must be established to describe safety goals, SMS requests and more. At the end of the day, policy, the first SMS pillar, outlines the framework, responsibilities and foundations for the other 3 pillars. Risk management. Obviously, this is critical in the aviation industry, identifying risks and dangers and proposing solutions accordingly. The goal here is to assess and reduce the possibility of negative consequences, controlling them in a valid and acceptable way. Naturally, risks and hazards are always changing, which is why periodic checks and upgrades are crucial. When it comes to planning and system design, risk identification is vital, setting the foundation and framework for daily safety operations. All aviation service providers are responsible for collecting, recording and processing safety data through various reactive, proactive and predictive methods. Once a hazard has been identified, risks can be analysed and a team can be assigned to review and improve upon problematic areas. By mitigating the likelihood of a negative event, safety assurance, the third SMS pillar and one of the most important. This pillar involves implementing actions pre-planned by air service providers, ensuring the highest possible safety standards for everyone involved. In the realm of aviation, safety assurance is critical, with 3 key components. Safety performance tracking and measurement is complex but important. Change management involves managing inevitable changes that occur organisation-wide. Finally, constant SMS improvements ensure high standards and better performance, which can be achieved through regular evaluation of facilities, equipment documentation, employee performance, and more. Safety assurance is applied all across the aviation spectrum, from procedures to policies, safety data, compliance, and beyond. Clearly, it's one of the most critical SMS pillars, responsible for the measurement, analysis, and execution of safety and improvement. SMS pillar, safety promotion, based on changing safety insights. Safety promotion is all about improving safety all across the aviation spectrum through training, education, and communication. According to the ICAO, training programs are crucial for providing comprehensive SMS training for aviation personnel. The goal is to shape staff who are skilled, competent, and knowledgeable enough to perform their SMS duties with confidence. Training and education differs from organisation to organisation and from worker to worker. Next up is safety communication, which means staff must be 100% conscious, informed and competent on the SMS. Communication models include presentations, bulletins and policies and procedures. It's clear to see that the 4th pillar is paramount in spreading the word about safety and keeping the aviation landscape safe. From training to communication, safety promotion strengthens the safety environment for everyone.
What is the purpose of safety responsibility policy? The purpose is to minimize the risk associated with aircraft to a point that is as low as reasonably practicable and achievable. and also to ensure that external supplied systems and services that impact upon the safety of our operations and meet appropriate safety standards. Safety responsibility policy actively develop and improve our safety processes to conform to world-class standards. This ensures that all staff are provided with adequate and appropriate aviation safety information and training, are competent in safety matters, and are only allocated tasks commensurate with their skills. Safety responsibility policy establish and measure our safety performance against realistic objectives and targets. And lastly, to achieve the highest levels of safety standards and performance in all our aviation activities.
In 2011, the back was the body part involved in the largest percentage of injuries involving days away from work, according to the 2014 edition of the National Safety Council's Injury Facts. Although many events can lead to back injuries, OSHA notes that lifting loads that are too heavy can be especially hazardous. Among the tips OSHA recommends to help reduce the risk of injury from heavy loads are: before lifting an object, determine the maximum weight that can be safely lifted. Generally, if a load is heavier than about 50 pounds, do not attempt to lift it manually. Use a lifting device, such as a powered barrel dumper, to lift loads deemed too heavy for workers. Using proper lifting techniques when performing manual lifts will minimize the risk of injuries to the back, OSHA states. When lifting, follow these tips to stay safe. Try to maintain a neutral spine alignment, typically bending at the knees, not the waist, will help maintain proper spine health.
On top of that, it is in the standards of the Occupational Safety and the Health Administration are the following.
As per OSHA, it is crucial to stand near the object to be lifted, keeping the loads close to the body. Second, it is recommended to have the load in a height between the shoulder and the thigh. Some don'ts when lifting a heavy material is to avoid twisting the body. When shifting direction, turn the feet and not the waist. Another advice is to never reach a heavy object. It is ideal to have a coworker beside, or better, have a lifting equipment that is accessible.
Indeed, heavy materials can be handled in a variety of ways. Humans are flexible enough to attain such postures. However, professionals must enact body stances that ensures safety while acknowledging the objective of handling a heavy material.
Keep it locked in a cell, never revealing.
So, what is a foreign damage risk?
FOD. No, it's not a typo or iniisip mong salta kung gutom ka ngayon. FOD, also known as Foreign Object Damage, is the easiest way for the aircraft to be hurt without the pilots being aware of it. It has the potential to be dangerous to all ground personnel also. It's possible for foreign object debris to be created when a jet blast propels a small object and then collides with something else along the projectile's path, like bolts and screws, pen, tools, PPE or personal protective equipment like gloves, goggles, boots, or helmets, and many items that may be considered to be FOD. It can be also in a liquid form like gasoline or hydraulic oil.
Basically, anything that can cause damage to an aircraft or hurt any airman is an FOD. Now that we have built a strong foundation about what an FOD is, let's now discuss how we can prevent it.
In order for us to attain or to prevent foreign object damage or risk, first is that we should follow necessary procedures. Second is that we should practice good housekeeping, such as clean as you go or clean as we go. Third is that we should account for all tools, hardwares, and equipments at specific intervals. Fourth is that we should ensure ground and surfaces on which aircraft or aerospace vehicles and ground support equipments are operated, maintained, and are free of objects that could cause damage due to ingestions or due to jet blast effects. And lastly, we should report foreign object damage incidents or potential incidents to prevent unwanted circumstance.
Upon building a strong foundation of knowledge about foreign object damage and risk, and as well as methods to prevent it, now let's tackle a scenario in aviation. Let's discuss or investigate what happened with the Concorde Flight 4590. Based on the investigation, Air France Flight 4590 experienced or encountered an FOD upon takeoff. Now that FOD led to an unwanted chain of events that led to the demise or crash of the aircraft 4590. Always remember, tomorrow is your reward for working safely today.